Greetings and salutations, citizen. Jetforth is the name, and let me be the first to welcome you to the verse. Now, I will make this a self-promo very quick here so we can get down to business. Feel free to use my referral code or click the link down in the description or pinned comment to get yourself an extra 5,000 in-game cash, and we both will get a Dragonfly speeder bike if you decide to purchase the game within the time span of the free fly event. And that is it. If you find this tutorial helpful, please feel free to hit that like button. That would be super amazing. If you have any other questions or stuff you're getting stuck on, there is a Discord link down in the description. Most everybody in there is very helpful and will get back to you as quickly as possible if you have questions. And with that being said, let's get into this. Alrighty, so after you have downloaded the game and loaded on in, from my personal experience, the best place for a starter to start is Area 18. It is easy to navigate, easy to find your way around, has everything there from armor, weapons, ammo. You can purchase ships, rent ships, blah, blah, blah. It's the best place to start for a beginner. I don't care what anybody else says. Next, we are going to learn how to get out of bed, and we're going to go through some settings while the game decides to lag its butt off the very first time you load in. Now, while in bed, if you look to the right and hold down F, you will see get out of bed. Go ahead and click on that and you'll get out. Or just hold down Y and you will get up. Now, like I said, the very first time I played this, and I saw this happen to a bunch of other people too in videos and whatnot, is the game lags so much the first time you play it. It's almost like it's installing itself or installing cookies and remembering the entirety of the universe that you're loading into. The second time I played the game, buttery smooth. So while you're waiting for that, let's go ahead and hit escape and go into the options menu. And then we are going to go under graphics. Now, what you want to do in here is put everything on very high or high. The only thing you want to have on medium is your volumetric clouds, because when you're flying down to planets and whatnot, it can drop your FPS pretty hard. You might think it's a little bit crazy to put everything on high, but you got to remember this has been in development for 10 years and it is running on CryEngine, a Frankenstein version of CryEngine, but nonetheless, it's still CryEngine, and lower end PCs can still run this pretty well. So if you are having a hard time, crank up the settings, don't crank them down. Next, we're going to go over to keybinds. Look at this keybind board. I want you to memorize every single... I'm just kidding. But what we can do is we're going to go into advanced customization, and then we are going to go to flight movement, and then we are going to go all the way to the bottom of that little list of flight movement and go to request landing and bind it to F3. You will be thanking me very much for this later, and don't worry about it, F3 is an unbound key. And now that is pretty much it for all of that. So let's go ahead and find our way down to the spaceport. Now, a lot of this is going to be in Area 18. So if for some reason you did not spawn in Area 18, you might want to skip through some of the parts and whatnot, because I will be showing how to get to the spaceport so you didn't get lost. So let's go ahead and call the elevator. Again, hold F and then click on call elevator. Once in the elevator, go ahead and use the pad in there, hold F. Now you can zoom in and zoom out using your scroll wheel on the pad. And also a thing that I wish that I would have known is that when you zoom in, it actually has a scroll on it. Scroll up and scroll down. So once you get down, you're going to go run out, say hi to Bobby, and then you will come across your first stores. One is Casaba's Outlet, which is a clothing store. Clothing has literally no purpose in this game as of this moment. I don't know if it will, unless you're a YouTuber such as myself and use the clothing in videos. However, it is still pretty cool. I would suggest going and checking it out. Not that buying clothes in a game is super cool, but you can actually like buy the stuff off the rack and try it on and stuff. It just kind of puts into perspective of what this game is trying to do. Then you're going to find the Cubby Blast. The Cubby Blast sells armor and weapons and ammo and some other things in there. You might want to go in and check it out. For your very first mission, you're not really going to need any of it, so I would suggest maybe not buying anything. And most likely you will come across boxes and stuff when you're doing your first delivery mission that will have possible weapons, but most likely armor and other fun stuff that you could get here. But if you did, use my referral and get that 5,000 cash, you know. I'm just saying, feel free to spend some cash. And one last thing, if and when you decide to buy a weapon for yourself, make sure when buying ammo for it, the name on the ammo matches the weapon. because each weapon has its own specific magazines and whatnot for them. Be very mindful when putting those pieces together. Another thing about stores and everything else you buy in this game, all across the solar system there are different stores, and on space stations they do sell different weapons and different armors depending on which store you're at. Same thing for the weapons on your ships and so on. So make sure when you're flying through the universe you're checking out different stores. And there's also some websites you can check out, and I'll leave links in the description down below for you to check out if you'd like. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and head off to the spaceport. In this area there is a bunch of stuff for you to explore and check out, so feel free to pause the video or don't. Like right here, right to the right is a hospital, there is a trading center, a place where you can buy and rent ships and whatnot. But we are going to head off to the spaceport and not make this video way too long and me babble for way too long. So just go ahead and follow on screen and I will chime back in when we get there. Oh, and make sure that you say hi to Charlie, because Charlie is a good man. You're a good man, Charlie. Good man. One real quick note, if you get lost on the planets that you're on, just follow all the signs like you would in real life. They'll tell you exactly where you need to go or where you need to get. Okay, so we have arrived at the spaceport. Now, pretty much this part is linear. You can just walk straight and you will see where you are supposed to go. One thing to take note of is this is a fines and citations payment system machine. So if you get like a parking ticket, ship gets impounded. Actually, I don't know if you have to use this if your ship gets impounded. I don't think you do. But if you smash into stuff, or if you have like light fines, you will pay them here. You also do have to be careful if you are in trouble with the law, because the guards will take you down and could possibly put you in jail. But most of the time, if you accidentally ding something when you're taking off and you get in a little bit of trouble with the law, you can just pay the fines off at these machines. So with that being said, do be careful when you are taking off out of the hangars or landing at a space station. Now, the next thing that we are going to do as we approach these kiosks here, this is where you will retrieve your ship from. First, you are going to press F1 and open your Moby glass, and you should probably familiarize yourself with this, maybe at your own time, not my time, but we will be going under contracts. So go ahead and click right there, and that is going to pull up your first mission that you need to be doing. Now, yours will look a little bit different than mine because I already obviously completed my first mission, but yours will be 3,000 AUEC, which is the money in the game, and you are only going to be delivering one package as opposed to my 3. Now, when I do take you through this, I'm going to show you the 3 deliveries that I make. Actually, it was only 2 because then my game crashed. Don't tell anybody, but I will show you where the last location was, so it'll give you a good idea of what you need to be looking out for, because all the missions in the beginning are generally different. I did have to wipe my character once, and the opening mission was different. All right, so finally most of the boring stuff is over. Let's walk up to this kiosk here, and you're gonna go ahead and spawn in your ship. So you should only have one here unless you spent $1 million, but go ahead and retrieve ship. And once the ship has been retrieved, it will tell you what hangar and or pad it is in, so make sure you remember that. The best ship for a beginner is the Avenger Titan. So it is definitely worth spending the extra couple of bucks to get that ship as opposed to some of the other ones. I'm not saying, I'm just saying if you do really enjoy this game, you might want to think about getting that one instead of maybe one of the cheaper ships. If you did, you have a 14-day return window. Now, there is a food and water mechanic in this game. It doesn't drain like insanely fast. Like, it's not like a survival game where you're going to be continually looking for food and water. Generally, you can go out for a couple hours and be fine. There's going to be loot boxes on the ground and whatnot that's going to have food and water and armor and all that other fun stuff in it. Now, after hitting that kiosk, though, make sure you memorize what pad or what hangar your ship is in. So once you go over to the elevator, you can find where exactly you need to go. And again, don't forget you can scroll up and down on those elevators, which I'm going to reiterate because I didn't know that in the beginning and I got really confused. Where I was looking for like what on earth is pad 3 and all there was on there was hangars. Maybe I'm dumb, maybe I would have noticed. I don't know. And here we are at my beautiful Aegis Avenger Titan. Such a glorious ship, an olive drab. Now, depending on which ship you got, you'll either have to go up to the cockpit and get in that way, or if you have one of these awesome ships, you can go in the back. Go ahead, I'm waiting for the joke. Some of the ships will have a cargo hold, such as this one, and a bed to sleep in. The beds, if you're out on space or out down on a planet, not in safe airspace, you can log out of the game and start there again. But that's a whole different story and a different video. So for this, go ahead and get into your driver's seat. To turn on your ship, you are going to press R. To turn on your engines, you're going to hit I. Now, honestly, at this point, do not press anything else. Just turn it on and get ready to go. Now, to repair your ship, you will need to know this. You're going to go ahead and click on that little wrench. This is how you refuel, repair, and restock your weapons, which I had to do here, so it's being included in the video. Now, also, you have I forgot exactly what it's called. Tunnel vision, something vision, where if you hold down F, right click, then you can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. And your ship has all these menus that you can go through and lots of switches. So this one right here is comms. You have ejection seats, closed doors, open doors, shields, you name it, it's in here. I would definitely suggest going through it and familiarizing yourself with it. Because to be honest, you don't want to accidentally, eject yourself while you're flying and looking for something. But most of the stuff that's in the dash, you can control with key binds. And now at this point in the video, I have no idea why I was looking left, but I was. But if you look to the left, there's exit ship right there. So if you need to get out real quick, that's there. As for steering your ship, if you look at the crosshairs or the reticles in the center and you see that rubber band, the further away you get from that and the further you stretch it, the harder your ship is going to turn. So for right now, before you take off, I want you to put that rubber band directly in the center and take your hand off of the mouse and do not touch it. And then hit F3. And that is what we bound in the beginning. And that is going to call the tower and open the doors for you. Now for your very first takeoff, what you are going to do is you're just going to very lightly tap and feather that space bar like it's your little baby. And you're going to show it a little love. Don't hit it too hard or you will fly into the roof. And then you're going to use W key and move forward. Now, some bays that you're in or some of the hangars, you will have to go out the top. So if that's the case, hit F4 and that's going to break the camera away. So you can see in this view and then you can just go straight up. Now, if you want to move around your ship, you'll hold down Z and that'll break the camera again so you can swing around and see your ship and move it around. Press N to bring up your landing gears and lower your landing gears. Now, once you have gone up a fair amount and you're feeling a little bit safe and you're above the city, then feel free to start moving around and you can put your hand back on the mouse and start getting a feel for what the ship is. I would seriously spend a little bit of time here, maybe go up a little bit higher, and then come back to the next part, which is using quantum drive and getting out to our first delivery. All right, are you ready? Good. You're going to hit F2 and that is going to bring up your map. Now, the little triangle is you, and then you see that little green doohickey there. That's actually where you're going to be picking up the package. Now, if you double click on the planet, it will show you where it is. Then you're going to click on the little green square. It should bring up a green line to it, and then click set route. And then once you set the route, you'll see it up in the upper left-hand corner. It'll tell you the distance, how much fuel it's going to take, and whatnot. Then after that, you'll click on F2 again and come back out of your menu. Now here's the fun part. We got to break atmosphere. You actually have to leave the atmosphere of the planet to be able to use your quantum drive. Which on ArcCorp, the planet that we are on, it's roughly 8,000 to 10,000 feet to get, or 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers to get out of the atmosphere. And honestly, leaving the atmosphere is one of my favorite things. Make sure you're going straight up, for the most part, going straight up. Hit F4. Then hold down Z and look back at the planet and just gun it. And to gun it, all you do is you scroll your wheel all the way up to the top. You'll see that little red box on the left going up and down on the Vel. Now make sure you turn that back down when you're going into land, or go back between the white and the red to give yourself just like a general 100 kilometers a minute. 100 kilometers a second or something like that. And now for quantum drive, go ahead and aim your ship at your destination, which in this case would be where you are picking up your package. Press down B and let it spool up and calibrate, and then hold down B and that will launch you into quantum drive. And quantum drive, depending on where you're going, can take some time to get from point A to point B. But just so you know, the space between point A and point B is explorable. I don't necessarily recommend it, and you can jump out of quantum drive by holding B, but you can actually just fly to the planet if you want to. But in some cases, it may take you physically an entire week of your life, not in-game time, real time, a week to get to places. But you can fly there. It's pretty cool. Just saying, not saying. All right, so we have finally made it to Walla. Again, your destination is going to be different from mine, whether it be a moon or a space station or somewhere on a planet. Most likely you will be picking up on a moon. So now you can see as we are coming in from our quantum drive, there is yet another blue square, or however you want to call it, diamond, I guess, since it's on its side, off to the left where it says pick up package. So you're going to aim at that and then quantum drive to that. You can, again, just fly to it, but it's better off just quantum driving to it. Now that is going to lead us to a little space station on the moon. Now, once you start getting closer to your arrival destination, especially if it's night, you're going to want to push tab. Tab is going to send out the scan like that, and it's going to show you where the ground is. Now you are going to see other little squares popping up on the left and the right and stuff. Basically what those are minables. And we're not worrying about those now, especially not on our first mission. Also, for these places on the moon, you do not need to call comms or anything for landing. You can just land. You can pretty much land wherever you want to. But the closer, the better. And do not forget to press N to drop your landing gears. And if you hit L, that will turn on the lights for your ship. Now, after you have landed, you are going to want to hit I and turn off your engines. If there is a storm on the planet and you do not turn off your engines, your ship could possibly fly away from wind. Kind of annoying, but it can happen, so make sure you turn off your ship. Now, to get out of your seat, you're going to hold down Y, or once again, you can look to the left and hit the exit ship out the door, or if depending on which ship you have. Always make sure you have a helmet on also, because you will suffocate to death in this place. Hold I to get into your inventory. We really haven't had to discuss that one yet. Now, these little space stations are pretty safe. There's nothing to worry about here. You're going to go in. You're going to open the first door. You're going to look to your right, cycle the air, closes one door, opens the other, and you go in. Pretty easy, pretty simple. You should be able to pick up on that one rather quickly. Now, once you walk in, these places do have loot boxes in them. There's going to be red boxes, little green boxes, or they're like big blue ones. And they will have either armor. The red ones have armor and other cool stuff in them. The blue ones will generally have food and other things in them. And these little green ones will usually have mining and other types of resources. Like this one has a multi-tool, mining stuff, and knives. And a tiger key in it, which that's what you use to get rid of your crime stat if you were a bad person. Bad person. But anyways, we're here to pick up the package and we're going to get out of here. I just want to make sure that you're very mindful of that, because these little buildings will be stacked with loot. Normally when you land in places like this, there's usually like 3 or 4 buildings that you can run around and go to. So I just want to make sure you keep that in mind, because my first playthrough, man, I missed out on a ton of stuff. So now that we have our packages, or you have your one package, it's basically going to be the same thing. Try and put the package down and glitch through the roof of your ship. So you have to run back down around and freak out and hope that you totally didn't bug out, which we didn't. We're good. Don't worry. Everything's fine. But yeah, basically you're going to follow the same thing you did before to find the package. You're going to see in the sky, there's going to be squares up there, and we're going to get ourselves turned around and look at the map and find out exactly where we're going. We quantum travel to those bad boys and deliver our packages. So at this point, you should be picking up pretty quickly on how to travel to and from. Sometimes the navigation mode in this part can be a little bit finicky, so if it's not giving you a route, click on something else, set route, and click back on it and set route. And if it's still not doing it, clear route and then set it again. Like you can see, I kind of edited here a little bit. Sometimes it can be a little finicky, but for the most part, it does pretty well. So we're just going to go ahead and skip to me landing at the next place, and I'll show you what to look for when delivering your first package. Now, once you get back into one of these buildings, it's going to be marked and telling you where exactly you're supposed to be delivering. you're going to look out for these machines. Covalex, I don't know what it is. But one of the arrows is picking up and the other arrow is delivery. They're kind of hard to see, and you can see here I picked the wrong arrow. So just wait for it to reform. If you did that, reboot, and then pick deliver. Be careful with these machines. They can kill you. I've never been murdered by one, but apparently if you stand too close when you're placing the package in, the thing can kill you. Just like some of the stairs in this game can kill you. You see I'm always at 99 or 97% health in all of my videos. I don't know what it is. It's some such stairs or some back at area 51 or back at area 18 that'll kill you. So that is the first delivery. Now for the end of this video, I am going to let 2 other deliveries play out. One is actually a delivery where I deliver it on the top of this building at area 18, which is on ArcCorp, our home planet. One other thing to notice, right off to my right is actually the spaceport. So when you're coming home and you're done with your missions, you're just gonna head there, land, and then you can log off. And then the final one is my game crashed and I couldn't deliver the last package, but I went to the space station and went to the admin to show you exactly where you're supposed to go if you do get one of the space stations. Now with the space stations, sometimes it does mess up. It did for me originally when I played it, and it did not show me where to deliver the package. I had to look in my contract and it said I had to deliver to her L1, so that's where I went. And the deliveries on the space stations, for the most part, where that little delivery box deal is that you put your package in, is going to be in the administration room. So you just look around for that. Again, I'll show it at the end. Useful tips and tricks that I probably should have mentioned and I didn't. F12 turns on and off the chat. If you see it on the left and people talking and you don't want to see it, press F12. Your light for your ship is L. Your light for your human yourself is T. So torch, because it's a British game. If I torch that... No, I'm sorry, I won't do that. And I can't really think of anything else that I wanted to mention. Now, as for me, I am going to shut up. I am done talking in this video for this tutorial. By now, you should already know how to turn on your plane, turn off your plane, take off, land, deliver a package, get into your menus, change some stuff around, have some fun, and all the who-dads and do-dads and whatever else you need to do. So, if you found this video helpful at all, I would like you to click that like button. I would like you to subscribe for more tutorials and leave a comment and let me know what you think. All my socials and all the other stuff are down in the comment section down below. I myself am still rather a bit new to this game, so I don't have a ton of tutorials out or anything, but I am working on them. So anyways, I hope you all have a good day, have some safe flights and a safe journey in the verse, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Peace.